Okay, okay, I have the thumbnail.
Are we gonna do this?
Are we
We got this,
streaming?
boys.
We let your bitch ass sleep.
We got the upcoming. We're ready. Upcoming boys.
Guys, I think we're streaming.
Not yet.
I think we are.
No, I got turned off.
Check real quick because the thing says it's streaming or that we're live.
We're definitely not. Like, oh fuck.
Jesus.
We've been live the whole time. All right, abort mission, boys. Abort mission.
Damn.
Oh.
Abort mission,
Let
gentlemen.
me see.
We fucking suck.
Okay, this video has been removed by broadcaster. No, we're not live yet. I'm gonna stop streaming here. Yes.
What?
Okay, now.
Huh?
We're good
God
now.
fucking damn it.
Something happened, I don't know, man.
You're killing me, bro.
Alright, we're good
We're
now.
gonna do this another day.
No, we're good, we're good, we're good. I got it
Fucking
working now.
You got it?
Yeah. I have the chat open right now.
You have it open.
Hey yo, what's up, slimes?
You will not be able to reconnect. Oh my word.
Alright, so we have to stop that, delete that.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. I can go back and get rid of shit later.
Yeah, it's on.
Alright,
we're good.
Okay, for real this time.
Where are we going?
Yeah, yeah, we're going.
Real intro. Real
Oh my
intro.
fucking God. Hey, guys and
Oh,
gals,
fuck.
whoever else the fuck is watching this. Welcome to the third take of the Hereby Unnamed podcast. I am Jalen, your token black guy.
I'm
Alex, our that's required white guy, honestly.
I'm Carlos. I'm like the only beaner.
Yes.
Yeah. Today
Alright, add one to the counter.
today we actually have a plan, surprisingly. If you couldn't tell by the fucking thumbnail, well, for you on the VOD, couldn't tell by the thumb. We're gonna be talking about some remakes. Starting off, we're gonna talk about the Persona 3 Reloaded remake, which is one I think all of us are looking forward to.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What the fuck, bro? What the hell did you just say to me? Hold on. I feel insulted.
It was supposed to insult you. An insult.
That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it's an insult.
French. It's almost that bad. Alright, add another one to the counter.
Yeah. At least it's not Persona 4.
To a false.
Right, no, that's it. Nah, in the stream it's over. He fucked up. Nah. That's 2 points right there.
Oh my god.
That's the worst. That's the worst.
Okay.
Oh, get ready for this one. You're not ready. You're not
Go ahead
ready.
and roll the trailer.
I
Roll
gotcha.
the footage.
So we're gonna go ahead and play this. What the fuck? Okay. And I'm gonna unmute it. Dude, bricked. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why don't you full screen that, buddy?
We're real professional.
No, we're not.
We are, man.
You're right.
The best social link, Kenji. Don't cancel me.
You know, I wasn't. I'll be honest. I wasn't actually expecting this remake. Like when they did the fucking Persona 3 portable port, the worst port. I was like, oh, we're not getting anything Persona 3 ever. And then they announced this, and I'm like, what the fuck was the point of the P3P thing?
That's
What
what
was
I'm
the point
saying.
of that?
Because nobody actually likes P3P.
Hey, come on, bro. I like P3P.
It's the
There was a
worst
very
one.
specific demographic of people that actually like P3P.
Yeah, they're all,
and I'm not
people
one of
like
them.
Otome games because that's the only reason you play portable.
Yeah, you only play portable so you can fuck boys.
What?
Damn,
I like
right.
that.
In one case,
Honestly, why are we watching the Italian trailer for this game?
in
not
one
Italian.
case, literally
It's
Looking at
Latin.
you, Ken.
You're not wrong.
Xbox sound play it day one with.
Yo, you're not
Jesus
wrong. I'm
Christ,
gonna
I
be
hate
playing.
you.
I'm gonna be playing. If I could play Reload on a Xbox, I probably would.
Yeah, it's on. I believe it's on everything: Xbox,
It's-
Switch, PlayStation, PC.
Unless there's randomly some garbage it's not on. Good old done and dusted, boys.
Oh yeah.
Man.
So the thing I'm looking forward to the most is to fuck my teacher in HD graphics.
Yes, sir. That's a mana culture. What I'm really looking forward to, I want to hear the new voice cast.
I do.
Cause.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, because like the voice cast in 3 does a really good job. A lot of these guys, this isn't a lot of them in their earliest roles. Because I'm trying to remember. I think the youngest of that group might have been Liam or Akihiko, I guess. It's your Liam or like Grant George or something. Because
Probably
Tara
Grant.
and Yuri, I think, were already married at that point.
Oh yeah, Tara and Yuri, like
Yeah.
they were already going.
Yeah, they had been going for. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking forward to the most is absolutely the voice cast, because Alex Lee is our protagonist, and if anyone's familiar with Street Fighter 6,
Yeah, he's
oh
Boom!
yeah, boom,
divorced.
We are 3 Zoomers trying to record a podcast. We've
Only
made a great
one of us is married. The only person who didn't say it is married. He can't say it.
I did say it. I just said it
The
later.
rest of us didn't say it. What the fucking stream?
Oh my god.
We need to end the stream again.
no.
Hate it here.
I'm really looking forward to like the music and the graphical update. I know people have said so far that the music doesn't sound super good
Have we
compared
only
to
heard
the
2 songs?
Yeah, I think we've only 2 songs.
Let's be real. The only song we want to hear is Break Turner Turner.
Oh, bro, don't know those core memories.
Dude, I want to hear.
I used to walk to the bus stop listening to that shit. I felt so
I
cool.
dude. I used to be the guy who would roll up in class and I'd fucking hear fucking Changing Seasons going like, yeah, it's time to do some Social Links, boys. And that was when I realized I was a weeb.
See, when I realized it is when I was unironically walking down the halls listening to what's that one called? Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There.
Oh my fucking.
Jesus. Oh, that's right. You're a P5 guy. Oh,
That's what. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I started with P5. I have the Take Your Time. I have it tattooed on my arm.
yeah, you have the Phantom
Take your
logo
time.
on
You
your
mean
arm.
take your heart?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. I was thinking of Take Your Time. No. That's Take Your Heart.
He
Yeah.
has it in Japanese, and he's a gaijin, so it really does say take your.
Gaijin Goomba guest star next podcast.
Ooh, I might flex that photo real quick.
This never happened.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
He lives
I
in
mean,
Texas.
I suppose me and him could talk about Monster Hunter for like 45 minutes, but you two would be useless.
I mean, we're about to be useless in probably about 30 minutes anyway, so it's not that out of the
That's
ordinary.
true.
That's
It's okay. It's a very needed conversation for later.
Yeah, there is gonna be we have a very interesting topic, or at least a personal topic for all 3 of us later.
yeah. I hope they bring back the update P3P, the combat ones, because that was the
please.
main reason why that game was as relevant as it was.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. This is all I want from the remake. I don't want to control my party members.
Dude, yes, I would pay so much
Honestly,
money for that.
That was actually kind of fucking cool that they were all their own people in combat. Now, was it good game design?
No.
Was it?
Well,
really
okay. Here's the
neat?
look. Here's the thing,
You
right?
used Marin Karen against Nyx in my.
Dude.
Should you use Mudo like non-stop and
Not
pray
Mudo,
that it hits?
Thank you very much. Komaru fucking killed me.
The only character that was good was Junpei, and that's because he
No,
just did
no,
physical.
No, because all he would do is keep using fucking physical attacks.
Oh, you know why? Because He was neutral to everything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And he was over leveled as fuck. He's the best party member
Who,
when he
Shinji?
joins, and then he's gone in a fucking by the way, spoilers. And then he's gone in a month.
Yeah, he's gone before he's not relevant anymore.
Dude, we can't do that, man. You ruined a whole bunch of people's first time.
Who
Hey,
gives a shit?
To the
Persona,
podcast about remakes in a game that is almost 20 years old.
yeah, Persona 3 is 20 years old. I'm sorry if
17
you
right
don't.
now. We are at 17 years. The game came out in 2006.
Yeah, if you don't know the story of Persona 3, I'm very sorry that you had to come here and podcast.
If this is how we spoiled it for you, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something so you can all leave. The main character dies at the end.
That's
of the
fucking
game.
crazy.
There
Why
go.
would you say that?
Get the fuck
That's
outta here.
actually crazy.
Bye.
I can't believe we just lost our entire audience because
literally.
we spoiled the ending of Persona 3.
Atlas literally just clicked on this video and they fucking took it down.
Did we just raise our cancel counter by like 50?
I think we did.
Bro,
That
we're
single-handedly.
actually talking about Persona. Atlas should pay us to make the stream.
Honestly, we're doing this for free. We don't have to do this. We aren't making any money off this. We just
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this game because we've
Not-
been looking forward to this for forever.
Yeah, not yet. I've been wanting a Persona 3 remake for so long. I know the answer stuff's not gonna be in, and that's a little sad.
I'm so
But
glad it's not gonna be there.
DLC.
I fucking hated the answer.
If I'm being honest, the answer is not very good. The only thing the answer had going for it is the character writing. Character writing in the answer is amazing.
Oh yeah,
But-
I like Yukari's little arc.
Gameplay is
Yeah.
exactly. I couldn't describe it. It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
let's
the
be-
worst
let's
part
be
of Persona
fair.
3.
Let's be fair. Tartarus was the weakest part of Persona 3. to
It's
an
the
extent.
strongest part,
I
dude.
think
It's literally the strongest part of the whole game.
209 floors.
No, once you play the answer, Tartarus feels like the weak part of the game. You'll just hate it. You will hate it.
Considering
Well-
that I hate doing it normally, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tartarus was easily the most entertaining, most varied, most interesting.
Yeah, I'll agree normal Tartarus is fun, but like the answer Tartarus,
The answer.
Oh, the answer
what is it
charter
called? Like the
sucked.
Labyrinth of Memory. No, that's Tales of Vesper.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
labyrinth.
it's like it's
The Labyrinth of Amala.
no, that's SMT3. It's Camp Ichigaya.
Oh man.
That is the most if anyone knows what I'm talking about, that is the most depressing thing I could have said.
more tedious playing a string.
Yeah, it's just tedium. It's just tedium is the answer. It's awful. It's painful.
By the way, play SMT Strange Journey.
By the way, play SMT4.
I want to play 4.
Play
Honestly,
play
first game we stream
SMT5.
SMT4.
Play
Honestly,
SMT5.
I think 4 is better than 5. I'm being honest. 5 kind of
Honestly-
feels like a lax heart.
Honestly, play any SMT game that's not 1, 2, or 3.
Or
And if you
3.
play 3 for the game value.
And if you're gonna play an
I
older
started
game,
with 3. Dude, my first SMT is 3, and I'm not having a good time right now.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's
I am
fun
not
to
having a
play
good
an
time
SMT
at all.
game.
I'm like,
Dude,
I'm stuck in the second Kalpa. Like, I can't get past the second Kalpa.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
The second Kalpa.
He's not even
know.
he's not even at the more frustrating bosses yet.
I heard Azael is pretty bad, and Mott is probably
You
mean
gotta
to hell.
understand. Are we playing on normal?
No, I think I started on hard, which is also another mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah. Biggest, but yeah, that's
The first dungeon is literally just RNG.
Is it?
Yeah, so if you play on hard, you need random chance to get out of the first dungeon alive.
Damn, I must have been really
Yeah,
lucky,
can't
cause
you just encounter fucking god, what is it? There's something in there that'll just one shot you if you roll bad RNG.
a dis, I think.
2 shot. You get hit twice and die.
No, okay. This is what happened, right? My first actual Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne moment, right, was I get in, right? I start walking. I head to the door, and I get stopped by Dis, and I just so happen to lose my what is it, Kikurihime, I think. Um, like the healer, right?
Yeah.
That had the anti-stone attack, right?
No.
So I fucking
It was
start the
SMT
battle,
special.
and they outsped me. So their very first attack, they use the fucking stone gaze. I get stoned and instantly die.
Speaking of Stone, play SMT Digital Devil Saga, only game with the actual Earth element in it.
Oof.
No, Persona 1 and 2 has Earth element.
Oh, it does? I forgot.
Yes.
Oh my
It's
god, it does.
weird. Yeah, 1 and 2 have Earth element, and then they brought back. I think no. I think Nuclear is exclusive to 5.
Yeah.
No. Nuclear is in 2 because what the fuck is his name? Apollo has it.
Yeah.
Lord Apollo has it in 2.
I think Curse is the new one, the only new one.
Well, Curse is just the old dark, because Light is called Blessing now or whatever.
Bless, yeah.
Carlos, would you like to verify? Yeah, thank
It's
you.
bless.
Yeah, no. So they changed the names for Light and Dark, the Curse and Bless.
Isn't it death?
And then Nuclear is no. It's Curse because they call it Curse in Smash Brothers too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now Mudo is. And when they changed it to Curse, they gave it actual attacks that do damage instead of just instant death kill.
Yeah, now it's just a chance, and now if it's I believe that it now has like the Dai Sojo principle, or what's it called, like Samsara and Dai for me, because those spells, if you're not weak, if you're not resistant to it, it insta kills you. Now if you're weak, you're guaranteed death.
That fucking sucks.
It's bad. I miss old Mamudoon. I want to sit here and spam that shit against every enemy I see and
just pray that it hit them.
Wait, Persona 3.
Please,
Oh, Persona 3, yeah.
Please bring back to Persona 3. Please hit.
Please hit. Please hit.
Oh,
I will
man.
miss.
Also, Marin Karin.
Marin Karen. Marin fucking Karen. That's the one thing is I don't want. They're going to, on the off chance they give status ailments to our party members, for the love of God, fix their damn hit rates.
God. Half of my Persona 3.
It seems like there are plenty a lot of updates that were P5 this.
Yeah,
even like the all-out attack screens are a lot more P5s.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, the goal was to bring it up to standard with P5.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being real, the games I really want remade are 1 and 2.
They're
At least Persona 1. I want Persona 1 fucking remade. You want to know why? I'm sick and tired of every time I play Revelations Persona, I gotta fucking see Mark. You know, racial caricature Mark. Add that to the cancel counter, by the way. This time it's
where they canonically keep calling him a monkey.
Yeah, it's not for us. That's for Atlas.
Yeah, that one's bad.
I want another fucking writer. I feel like that's a niche that I feel like the detective, like the detective and also demon stuff is like a that they to bring back. Because I feel like it would also get the people that just want adult Persona people off their back, because then they could tell.
Oh, SMT?
That's what Persona X is for.
No, SMT is not like adult Persona.
Let me rephrase SMT before Devil Survivor.
Yeah, just something with more mature characters, like I feel like a Rido game would fill that, because then you could have. You could have like
Nocturne had the most mature characters out there,
but it would be adults in it.
And the worst part is what you're describing right now is basically what Persona 2 is. Confirming Persona 2 is the best Persona game, and it's not the contest for the last 20 years.
I'm not talking about which one would be the best. I'm just talking about the way people fucking complain about fucking Persona.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest problem is it started in 4. Because 4 is basically
4 is the worst fucking game.
eat shit and die. You're objectively wrong because your favorite fucking Persona game is Persona 5, the most bland milquetoast shit.
It's not my favorite. It was just my
Yeah, I know your
first.
favorite is 3, but
Yes.
that was the first one you played, and you're objectively wrong for saying 5 is better than 4.
5 is better than 4. I'm
It's
sorry.
definitely not. It's great. It looks better. I'll give you that. But here's the problem with 5. The party members have no fucking reason to exist. You can replace every single member of that party, and it would not fucking matter.
Yes, it would.
It wouldn't. There is no unifying thread besides the main character.
They're okay.
This is why
I'm not gonna be that extreme, but there are only really three, maybe 4 party members that actually matter, and that's a very hard 3, maybe 4.
The problem is
actually no, and doesn't matter. So yeah, there are only 3 party members that matter.
For the first dungeon, but you know who doesn't matter? Yusuke.
Yusuke does not matter.
We don't even need what's the fucking cat's name?
Morgana.
Morgana matters just because we need like a
We need Morgana.
Show God character.
We don't need Makoto. Makoto's sister.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
That's why I'm
Makoto is
saying
the best
Makoto-
fucking character in the
Makoto's
whole
important
fucking
because
game.
of her sister.
No, here's the thing.
Morgana-
Makoto isn't important. Sei is important because she's the one interrogating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
So
Makoto is the
that's
instigator.
Pointless here.
That's the context behind her existence. Like
Makoto was important for Sei, like to get the connections to Sei. Did you forget about them like stealing
Ryuji doesn't need to
the?
be there.
Oh my god, y'all are on some hot dick right now. I'm so mad right now. I feel like Joseph when I said that about Persona 4.
You gotta understand.
The thing is with the Persona 4 characters, the Persona 4 characters all knew each other and were all friends before we got there, except for the last
Except for Kanji.
Except for the last 3 we get. But our initial
Kanji,
party,
Rise, and like what Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko were all like they already had a whole thing going. Kanji specifically has ties to Yukiko. So
Yeah.
like, every
That's
member
true,
of
the
this
textile
party
shop,
actually
right?
feels connected, right? But think about it this way: how, like, what's the deal with the Persona 5 group outside of Joker?
Man, hold on, babe.
Okay.
Sorry, my wife just walked
Oh
in.
no,
Babe.
Oh no, the wife.
The
Oh,
characters in Persona 4 versus the characters in Persona 5, who were better?
the party members.
You gotta get a little closer. Okay, yeah, the party members. The
Not
party
the
members.
social link. Let's be clear.
I'm not gonna say the social links in 4 are better because only like 5 of them are objectively the best in the series.
Wait a second. We have a controversial hot take coming in.
Okay. Get the counter ready.
Okay, so the characters in Persona 4 versus the characters in Persona 5.
Yeah, party members.
Party members.
You're live on stream, by the way. Make sure you word this carefully.
I think I like Persona 4's better.
Oh my god. Betrayed by my own wife. I can't believe this.
Did you choose Persona 5?
Yes. I literally have
knew it.
Ryuji, Makoto, and Yusuke on my cup. I'm gonna cry.
Honestly, no, it's just that Persona 5 characters are so... They're like in a chokehold in whatever, I don't know, like stereotype they're supposed to be. It's
was
like
Persona
they
4.
have no other
Persona 4 is
personality.
way worse about that. I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like
Wait a second.
Persona 4. I don't know. I just feel like they had at least more potential. I don't know. I just felt like Persona 5 was like,
The
this is
Persona
who they
4
are.
characters were stereotypical because they
gonna
were
cry.
high school. The Persona 5 characters are stereotypical because they're stereotypical. Persona 4
Exactly.
actually felt like we were dealing with flawed high school kids.
Thank you.
Persona 5 feels like we're dealing with adults, but they're in high school.
Right. They're like, it's like, can you just not try to be sexy for 5 seconds, please? Just like fight or something. She's like, oh, you're depressed. Hey, boys, how look at me. It's like, okay.
After Kamoshida dies, Anne does not need to be around. She is.
Thank
I
you.
wish we got Saki instead of.
I wish we got Sei instead of Makoto.
Yeah.
That's understandable, but Carlos would hate that take.
What did he say? I didn't know.
Carlos
Basically,
is
remove
also-
Makoto.
I'm gonna
No.
tell you this.
Makoto
So,
is the
Carlos
best
has been
fucking
arguing
character in the whole
Persona-
game.
Carlos has been arguing Persona 5, even though we've got 3 people against him, and realistically the entire rest of the fucking community. But
Yeah.
I think the real thing with like the Persona 4 cast is that part of it is their social links flesh them out a lot.
Yeah.
Unless you are, I think it's Risei is no, it's not Risei. I think it's like Teddy because he's tied to the story. Teddy sucks.
Yeah.
Teddy is the worst of
Yeah.
the party members in 4.
Risei is probably the most random character out of the bunch. The one that's like, okay, why are you here?
She's an idol. She's a fucking idol.
Hers was
Like,
kind of
why is she
random.
That's
Ooh.
the only one where
Risei.
it's like, okay, why are you
Risei's
here?
was-
But the rest of the characters
yeah.
are pretty relevant
Risei's was
in
Risei.
their roles.
Yeah, that just felt like, I don't know, like forced fan service, maybe?
Look,
Yeah,
here's
Risei was
my
definitely
problem,
fan
right?
service. She was the fan
One
service.
of my
Well, I
biggest
think
problems.
Risei was
right?
there for the sake of
What?
the red herring that we get with what the fuck with Mitsuo. I think that's what
Oh,
the point
yeah.
of Risei was for. She's supposed to be the red herring.
Is she?
Because remember, okay, I'm about to spoil the fuck out of Persona 4.
Oh yeah, because she doesn't follow the pattern.
No, it's not that. No, because she enforces the pattern.
Oh yeah, because she enforced the pattern that they were all associated with the guy that was initially.
No, the pattern is
Oh,
that you
Akutsuki?
appeared on TV and you were kidnapped and thrown in.
Yeah.
But the reason that is because of Adachi fucking around background with Namatame. And so,
still
because
say
they were
Risei?
all
God,
in
no,
the
he just spoiled
subconscious
fuck out of
shit
Persona 4.
or whatever. Yeah,
It is
Persona
what it is.
4's plot is not super complicated, but you can look way more into it. Should. But
I
yeah,
feel
basically.
like
I feel like we could do a whole episode on just
yeah,
Persona 4.
I feel like it's time to move on.
I'm
Just
about to do my rant.
we're just getting into we're just arguing now about characters. And
Okay.
We
do
are
that.
almost 30 minutes in when we stopped talking about Persona 3 about 10 minutes ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
we're-
let's
we're
move
gonna let
on.
Zoe,
Carlos, can you
dismiss
get
herself.
the next trailer going?
Yeah, we're gonna let Zoe
well-
dismiss stuff real quick.
He's going to the
Oh,
subreddit
bye,
to try
everyone.
and get
Thanks
everyone's
for-
side of him.
Listening to my hot take.
Honestly, that was
That
not a hot take. That was
that
based as fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yes,
was
it was
pretty
based.
based. I wouldn't even call that a
thank you
hot
so
take.
much.
What I said before you showed up was definitely a hot take.
It was cringe
Yeah,
to
what-
me.
What I said was probably a hot take.
She's beating me. Alrighty.
Domestic violence?
So we're gonna go ahead and start the trailer for one of my most anticipated games, Super Mario RPG.
I have no opinion on this trailer. I'm gonna be real. Or on the game.
This hurts.
Well, no, it's because because I watched it direct when it was coming out. I think my thing
Wait a second.
with
Hold on.
Mario RPG
It's not
is
the right
that.
one.
Hey, isn't it a good thing I'm rambling?
Here we go.
But I think my thing with Mario RPG is I like the Mario and Luigi games more, and I think
Yeah.
those are just
Wait.
more fun.
Hold on. You can't tell me that this isn't the hardest intro right here.
It's not the hardest intro. You know why?
Oh my.
Because our intro is the hardest intro, where we do acapella mass destruction.
Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna do an acapella version of Mass Destruction.
Is it doing now? Face reality.
Hey, which
It's a man's
version are we
world.
doing?
Are we
Because
doing
there's
the FES version, the movie version, which, by the way, the movie version goes.
the movie version does go.
That's while this. God, now we're talking about Persona 3 again. But the movies for Persona 3, they're okay movies, but the music.
Oh yeah.
All the,
Holy fuck.
Midsummer Night's Dream is so hard.
Summer Night's Dream. You missaid fucking burn my dread.
you know what though? the reincarnation versions of the P4 soundtrack go hard too.
Honestly, I think this is gonna be a big hot take. I think Persona 4 has the best soundtrack out of all 3 games.
That's pretty wrong.
I think it's a hot take.
Persona 3 is my favorite, but I can agree that Persona 4 is probably
It's
higher
really
quality and
good,
has
though.
more mass appeal.
I don't think it's P5, mostly because there's basically my train of thought here is that Persona trailer. But my train of thought here is that Persona 4, out of all 3 games, Persona 4 is the most stable in quality, right? Persona 5 has some absolute stinkers in it.
I feel like
hear them and I skip them instantly because
I
they sound
feel-
terrible.
Yeah, I feel like P5 banked way too hard on Lynn and her very, very good singing voice for its vocal tracks, and that's why its vocal tracks are the most memorable and they go the most hard. But then a lot of the like running around music or even like
the
some of the dungeon
instrumentals
moves,
kind of feel
yeah,
Guys.
they're less memorable.
Guys,
yeah, I barely remember.
I have bad
only
news.
one-
I
Okay.
have bad news.
Wait,
Throughout that whole time we were talking, I never changed the fucking screen, so I guess it was good that we were talking about Persona 3, because
No, yeah,
that's
I
what
was
this
looking,
is.
I was looking at the screen. I was going to say something.
I thought you did that on purpose. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, no, I didn't. I completely forgot.
That's
I mean,
fine.
this should just be the thumbnail at this point, or the still, because
for
we just
real.
keep talking about Persona.
No,
Okay,
it's
okay. Can we actually broadcast the actual trailer?
Yeah, let's get.
You can, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
No, yeah, but I think it's just the most stable. It's the only reason it's a bit better.
Yeah, and also the reincarnation tracks. Like the reincarnated version of Nevermore is some of the hardest shit.
Nevermore on its own already goes hard.
The
Also,
reincarnation version
of
of
these tracks
Specialist.
go even better.
Yeah, but
Dancing
like
Virgin's the more song.
the Nevermore reincarnation is the acapella one with the fucking stomp stomp
Oh,
clap
you're right.
and the fucking backing vocals.
Oh, Mario RPG, get hype on.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, this is definitely one of my most
This
anticipated.
transition from the old graphics
Yeah, it
to
looks so
the
good.
new
It looks
graphics.
really
Yeah.
I think the only reason that I'm not super excited, another part of it is I can't. Switch is.
Oh, yeah.
That's another reason I'm not super hyped. But I do really think I just think I want to see what they change in gameplay from like how it feels realistic.
For what?
I mean, just in general, right? Because
I know they've changed some things, like when you get perfect now, does damage to all.
yeah, I think that's kind of a thing. The game is somehow even easier than it already was. Because this is a relatively easy game.
What?
And now you have like super like team attacks with your.
Yeah, you have your fucking Unison raid over here.
Fuck.
That's a fairy tale reference. Shit.
But I know they have added like harder modes for all the bosses too post game.
Yeah,
I know
but
it's
it's like I don't think this is a game I would ever play more of than I have to, right?
I feel,
That's
I
crazy.
Feel like this game is really gonna be for those people who
Like
Who don't-
really like this game.
who like
Like
this
me.
game and they don't want to spend the time emulating it, and also they enjoy maybe the upgraded graphic.
Yeah, I think that might be.
That sucks.
Honestly,
You know what I want to see? I really want to see the updated Kulix fight.
ooh, that's a good point.
Cool. Unlicensed.
You know what
Smash
I
Bros.
want to see?
Hold on,
I
I'm
want to
watching a
see
Duncan video.
Gino be relevant.
Oh my god, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right.
It is. It'll definitely happen.
Oh,
Yeah, that's gonna be when unlicensed Smash. Why are you playing a donkey video?
I know. I said, no, hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, you're.
No, we're good
Nah,
now.
right
Now
though.
we have to credit video game dunk. Fuck.
no, we're not.
This
Fuck
video
that.
is sponsored by Video Game
Video
Donkey.
Game Donkey.
Find him on League.
Find him on League. No, but yeah, like I think this game. While I'm not super excited for it, I can see why people, because it is a good game.
Yeah, there's
That's
a,
like, will not.
and also, I think one of the other reasons why people are so excited for this and the other game we'll be talking
Oh boy.
is that people for a long time have been kind of dissatisfied with Paper Mario and where that's gone, because Paper Mario is kind of sort of the successor to all the Mario RPG games, because they kind of stopped making all the other ones. Like, they made Mario and Luigi for a little bit, but the last game we got was
Dream
Bowser's
Team.
Inside Story.
No,
yeah,
Dream
that
Team.
was the last.
Was it Dream Team?
Yeah.
Was that on the 3DS?
Yeah. I have
Oh,
it.
that's right. Okay.
So yeah, the last one we got is Dream Team. After that, like, it's been like the Paper Mario. It's been kind of like the RPG combat, and people have felt like for a while that they've kind of made it a lot more generic. Like, there aren't really like named characters with like it's like all Toads or like generic NPC.
I get you.
That's true.
They people feel like there's a lot, like, it's not as interesting anymore. Even though I found, maybe a controversial opinion, I found the origami pretty interesting, just from like I found the different locales and the way the paper worked. Some of the puzzles kind of interesting.
I get you.
The puzzles were satisfying.
Honestly, I think that's one thing that Paper Mario does better than RPG. It's aesthetically way better.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's much. Yeah, that's the paper. It's much better to look at, and realistically, Paper Mario is gonna age really.
Yeah. But yeah, people feel like with them re-releasing Super Mario RPG and then Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, that's gonna be like a return to like more varied characters in the Mushroom Kingdom. Start getting back, because like we haven't even seen Toadsworth in a while.
Wow, it has been a while. When
That's
was the last time
true.
we saw him?
Like
Was it Galaxy 2 or something? It's been a long time.
like I think currently the most unique character in the past is probably Kamek.
Ooh, that's
And that's because there are other things that look like Kamek, but Kamek is the only one Kamek.
You know what?
And Toadette. It's Kamek and Toadette.
okay.
Because Toadette is the only female Toad, as far as we know, that is named Toadette. And
Alright,
Kamek
now.
is the only one of their race that is named. Their race is not named.
Actually, they're called Magic Koopas.
Yeah, they're Magic Koopas. That's what I'm saying.
You fucking degenerate, you stupid nerd.
I just said their race isn't called Kamek. You weren't correcting me.
You. Out of curiosity, no meme answer, so I don't want to fucking hear a Waluigi from you, Carlos.
Oh,
Who's your favorite Mario character?
I was actually gonna say Waluigi, but
Rosalina.
honestly, it's still
No,
It's
Luigi.
pretty up.
And it's not because I'm simping. I just want
I
Star Mom.
just for the sake of variety, I'm probably gonna say Paulina.
Pauline.
Paulina.
Interesting.
No, from the original Mario. She's the one
Oh.
who sings "Get Up Superstar" in New Donk City.
You know that song is part of that song is based off another song.
Yep.
I found the other Japanese song that like chorus is based off of by accident.
Really?
And I'm like, wait a minute. It's
There's
just
a-
the chorus. It's not the whole song. But like the chorus is very similar to other Japanese song. Almost
It
like
talks about grabbing
rhythm.
coins.
Yeah, no. The
Well, I
rhythm.
mean, talking about the background rhythm.
Yeah, the backing track and like the
Imagine-
rhythm is very similar.
Imagine if you go into like world tour mode, you hear fucking call it like an ambulance, and then you're like, oh shit, bro, that's MC Escher.
Like they both go do 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 do. They
Interesting.
both do that, except one's in Japanese and one's in
Oh, so it's
English.
do, 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 do,
Trapanese.
do. And then you say Chinese.
I said Trapanese.
Trapanese. Yo, is that
Japanese.
a Stolfo?
No,
Whoa, wait a second.
It's Asian trap.
Oh
Yeah.
god, have you heard the trap remix of Tombstone?
Oh my-
And for
League of
the Black
Legends?
Ops?
Right?
No,
Oh,
no, like the Black Ops perk Tombstone.
can we play that?
No,
No,
Can I play like 2 seconds?
no.
No, maybe in post. Maybe in post we can figure. I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
deal
find
with
it
that.
for you, and I can do it in post.
Let me see if I can find the song so I can play 2 seconds of it. Y'all can keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah, of what Tombstone?
No, of the song I'm talking about.
No, yeah, but yeah, I'd say probably Pauline. I think part of it is that she's really distinct from Peach and Daisy and Rosalina. Rosalina is probably the best of the four, if I'm being upfront.
Huh.
Just because, well, I mean, she's got the best game by far.
Rosalina?
Yeah, dude, Galaxy is.
Galaxy 1 was
honestly,
pretty good.
This is probably the hottest take we're gonna have here. Is literally trying to figure out what the best Mario game. I genuinely think the best Mario game is Galaxy 1.
I like 2, but I think it's because it was the one I started with.
That's probably it. I think if it's not Galaxy 1, it's Odyssey, and then the original Super Mario Brothers.
What? No World?
No, I think it's. I can't believe you said that.
Oh my god. What? Cancel this man. Cancel him. Everybody get into the comments right now and say.
The reason that I think. No, the reason I didn't say World is personally I'm just not into the 3 in World style. That's just a me thing.
Wow.
No, I mean it's just me. I'm the only person with that real opinion, honestly. But I think because of how important the original SMB is, right? Because it's often touted. It's the game that saved video games.
It's you're talking about Mario 1, right?
Yeah, it's called Super Mario Bros. Not just Mario Brothers, which is the fucking weird one.
Pressure for this.
The arcade one.
Oh, okay, the pipes.
Yeah,
right?
That's the pipe one. Yeah, Super Mario. Yeah, the original Super Mario Bros. Is the one on the NES.
Yeah, so this song is called Your Voice, and it's pretty old.
Sounds like an Usher song.
It's from 2006.
Oh my god! Hey, wait, hold on. Get the Persona thumbnail back.
Okay.
No, it's not for Persona.
No, because Persona 3 released in 2006.
Okay, that's
There you go.
Yeah.
Just for the memes.
But no, it's you can tell right from the beginning that it has that. It sounds similar to Jump Up Superstar.
I get you. As a former bandman, I hear it. I'm starting to hear it.
Yeah, you hear it. And then
I'm starting to hear it.
And then if I skip forward a little bit to where the lyrics.
Da, 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 da. You can't just go away.
I'm gonna turn it down, and I'll turn it back up when the lyrics start.
Okay.
So get copy struck.
Okay. Yeah, we're already cutting it close. I can hear it. Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's from 2006. It's
Like-
cool as fuck. It's
The weird thing is, it's not like it just sounded similar and it was a stretch. Like
no
chord progressions and everything.
It has to be fair, that time measure is very common. It's a super common measure.
It's
so
just
it's
like
not unreasonable.
4/4
it's
is
just
the
like
most
the
common.
instruments. It's the instruments and it's the bounciness too. And
Yeah, it is the same genre, so I can see it.
But it's from the Girls and Boys album by Keshi Nakatsu.
I know that
2006.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos, you can swap it back, by the way.
No, I'm gonna keep it
You're just gonna keep it like this before we start rambling about Persona randomly again?
before we start talking about our next topic.
Yeah, Johnny Misfire.
Johnny what's the do you want to talk about I know you wanted to talk about the Souls remix.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Demon Souls for just a moment. We're not gonna spend too much damn. I just want to mention this for a second.
I'm gonna go ahead and play the announcement trailer.
We're really excited about these other remakes, but one group of remakes I just can't put up with to an extent are like remakes of play. No. They're
That
like
was-
they're remakes of like PlayStation games that didn't come out that long ago. So yeah, I said this was just gonna be about Demon Souls, but I kind of want to expand the topic a
Out
bit.
of curiosity, didn't Demon Souls come out in 2012?
No, it was way late. It's old. It's pretty old. It's like
I know it's
2000.
old. It's 2000. It's 2000 something. I know it's before.
It's before
2013.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know it's before Dark Soul.
So like,
But
I've never played this game before, but
It's
this
pretty
trailer is pretty hard.
out of curiosity, while I'm
Did you just
Dark
call me
Souls 2
Juan?
was
You
24.
racist fuck.
Dark Souls was 2011. Demon Souls was 2009.
2009. Okay, so you know what? We can. That's gonna come up later. That year is gonna come up more than one time in a minute.
Yeah. So, yeah. Also, it was published in America by Atlas USA.
That's crazy.
Hey, you get the Persona 3 thumbnail.
Okay, here we go. Persona 3.
You get away with
Yeah,
it.
just to expand the topic, for some reason, PlayStation has been doing this thing where they make remakes of games that didn't come out that long ago. Like remakes, not just like remasters or like port. It's like remakes. So like you have The Last of Us got a fucking remake for some goddamn reason.
No, that's a fucking full-on remaster. That's definitely not
This is not a meme.
Well,
I just
yeah.
doxed myself.
the game.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
I get
suspected
you, I
to be
get you.
getting one. Why the fuck
They are?
we remastering these games? Yeah.
Yeah,
they
Bloodborne.
already-
Well,
yeah,
normally what
Bloodborne-
it is that they're porting games that sold really well
Yeah,
because
but
they're
they're
already
like,
working on a project.
but yeah, they're like putting them through this other company. It's not FromSoft. It's a first party
Yeah,
that fucking redoes them. And I'll be the first one to say it. The redos are not very good, and they're
is
also
it sort
coming.
of like what's it called? Oh, fuck, I don't.
They-
Never mind. I lost my train of thought.
They are visually better looking. I'll say this: they are definitely, if we go just by graph, they are better looking than they were when they first. However, usually with the problem, and this is with what happened to Demon Souls 2, they changed the textures and like the way things look to make them higher fidelity and make the graphics look better, but often they lose that kind of touch that makes the game what it is, so it takes away from the atmosphere a lot. So like when they change a lot of the textures in Demons to make them quality, it kind of got rid of that more gritty kind of feel. Like the game became a lot more clean and a lot more bright, even though we're supposed to be in like this kind of dead, dying,
Like dingy.
gritty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I get what you mean. It sort of reminds me of
I'll put it this way: it's like if they did a remake of Silent Hill, but because the game, like the original, and because modern technology doesn't have to do the fog thing anymore, they just get rid of the fog.
Oh, you mean Silent Hill Origins?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it'd be like if
Wait.
like if they did that.
That's what they did for what was it Resident Evil 2, I think?
No, but
or
Resident
4.
Evil 2. So okay, so the thing with Resident Evil, and this is a different topic, but this is a good thing to talk because this is the last topic originally. Was we were going to talk about do we prefer ports or remakes? But like the thing with Resident Evil is that outside of 1, because Resident Evil 1 is a complete remaster, but that was done in like 2004, and it's
That's
on the
right.
GameCube. That was the original console, was the GameCube for our remake.
That's
And
true.
that game still holds up to this day in the year 2023. That game is honestly, I think it's the best Resident Evil.
1?
Is the remake for 1. No, RE1 is a fucking joke.
Oh, I
It's
was
a
about to
nightmare.
say.
I like RE1, but I'm also the guy who doesn't like RE2 or 4. So grain of salt.
You know, I
I
have
just
to
don't
be
like none.
I have to be honest about something.
Yeah.
Me as a person, unless you like change a lot and add a lot, I don't think that you should remake or
No, I think
in my opinion, I think porting is fine. Like, if you want to
Yeah.
port something to keep it up with newer hardware so people can still play it, and you may want to put like a price tag on.
yeah, I'm kind of
Like-
with you there.
But like,
Although,
if you're making a remake and the only thing that really changes is the graphics, maybe the voice cast,
I think
fuck off.
Which
Fuck
is,
off.
hey, well, that's P3P. Hey,
Well,
back
no,
to
P3P
Persona 3, boys.
yeah, back to Persona 3. Well, no, the difference is Persona 3
is worse.
portable. Well, P3P. The thing with that is that it was a port to a lower system hardware. So the thing is, portable was ported to the PSP. This is one of the rare occasions where a game is being made retroactively for worse hardware, right? Which is very.
No.
The actual pipeline for this is super interesting.
What was it?
Portable
They did
was
that
made
before. No, they did that before. Sonic Triple Trouble for the Game Gear.
No. Well, that's different. No, I said it's a rare occurrence where it's being like retroactively made.
Oh.
Game Gear had stuff launched on Game Gear, and then stuff that was just ported to Game Gear, and it shows the Game Gear was terrible, awful, abysmal, one of the worst-selling consoles of all time. Yeah, but you also like Persona 5 anyway.
Oh my!
Older
Someone destroy this man.
Game ports, with
Are
older
not
game
good.
ports, they're not really port. Like in the 90s and the 80s, when you said there was a port of a game on another console, it meant something really different than today.
It's
Like
a
today,
completely
if you
different
say,
game, basically.
yeah, if you say a port today, then we're basically thinking, oh, it's pretty much the same game, but even
Yeah.
like in like the mid 2000s, if you said port back then, it just meant it was technically the quote unquote same game, but when you actually played it, it was an entirely different game. Like,
Yeah.
like even like, yeah, I know this is silly.
Okay,
Call of Duty on the DS.
Okay,
Call of Duty on
honestly,
DS
the
went
DS
hard.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not saying
different,
it was
though. That honestly
bad.
felt better than normal COD.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it was an entirely different game
Yeah, you're
than
right.
the Call of Duty on like place, or
I
even
think,
like Spider-Man 2.
Well,
For
I guess that
fucking
makes sense
Right,
because
Game Boy, yeah.
what did they do? Street Fighter 4 for the fucking DS.
Okay, but that's different though. That's still Super Street Fighter 4. The difference is that they updated the control scheme because they recognized
Because it's
the
fucking
flaw
terrible.
of the 3DS. Yeah, one button Sonic booms, by the way. Modern controls, be damn.
They
You got
pre-
beat 10 years ago.
I was about to say they fucking predicted SF6 in
They
like.
really did.
I mean, it is still Capcom.
That's true.
No, but yeah, I think not on the portable pipeline, but a big thing is that we're used to now, or what we got used to when we were younger, because I'm assuming all of us own like a mobile system at some point, like Game Boy, a DS, whatever. Games were made much differently back because the mobile version of these games had to be completely different.
That's true.
I kind of wish that would come back to an extent. I kind of
Well,
do.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, we don't really have outside the Switch, because they don't release shit for the 3DS anymore.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't
We
really.
don't
We
have
don't really.
we don't have a mobile system anymore outside
Not
the
really.
Switch, unless we really want to count the Steam Deck.
No,
Yeah,
that's just-
Yeah. It's a
That's
Switch.
just Steam.
it's just Steam.
Just
It's
Steam.
just Steam. But that is like it's something that's very much a of its time kind of thing. We aren't going to see that anymore.
Yeah, we had true mobile companies. And really only Nintendo was the one who PlayStation
Yeah.
pretended they did, but no.
The PSP didn't. The PSP never did as well. Well, part of the thing with the PSP, the original PSP sold really well.
And then the Vita sold.
The kind of okay-ish. Like the Vita was nowhere near as successful.
The Vita was the Wii U of the PlayStation.
That's fucked up. How dare you say that about the Wii U? The Wii U is one of the
I'm not
best
saying the
consoles
Wii U
ever
was-
fucking
All I have to
released.
say
I'm
is
not saying the Wii
Xenoblade
was
Chronicles
bad,
X.
Yeah,
I like-
you say Xenoblade. I say Zombie U.
that the Vita is probably the console I'm the most sad I missed out. Purely because there are a bunch of games that I've like watched series for that I will just never get to play because they were on Vita and they're never getting ported.
I mean,
Like there's a game series. There's a game series called Freedom Wars.
Oh shit, you're right. That was on Vita. Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's never getting ported.
Did we ever get ports for Rune Factory?
I think so.
Yeah, because I know Akiba's Strip, that eventually got ported.
Yeah, that PS4. I got on PS4.
Yes, Monty Fist Miner.
You know what?
Most anime games got ported. Most major releases,
I think
quite a few anime games ported somewhere, but there were just a few where the studios didn't do so well that it just got left behind.
That's one thing I'm really happy for.
I'll tell you what really needs to get remade. Fossil Fighter.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's pretty up there.
Oh yeah.
Is really near it. Yeah, we've kind of moved on to our final transition.
So,
Not bad.
Outside of Fossil Fighter, there is. You know what? I'll go last because I have so much to fucking say about it. I'll go last, I guess, on that front. Who'd like to start? Oh, we're gonna talk about what we want, either remade or remastered.
Hold on.
Either or.
Hold on. Before that, because I did have one small point to make, right?
Yes, sir. I will.
What is the name of
What are you trying? What
Oh.
are you thinking?
So going back to like retro ports / remasters, you have Mario All Star.
Oh, you're right. Mario All Star was technically a port.
And like I do feel, I think it was a little different than just a graphical update, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
And we need more experiences like that.
You're right.
With my problem isn't like graphical updates for ports. My problem is the whole remaster make thing where they'll just update the graphics and then toss it out full price. Like this is a full price brand game that they spent 500 hours working.
I'm okay. Well, I'm okay with it. So sometimes I'm okay with that. So there is examples of this. The Batman Arkham games, for example, when those were remastered, I believe they had to build them from the ground up for all the new hardware.
But they also had additional content. Like when the Batman Arkham games got redid, they put new content. They actually put quite a bit of new content.
Yeah, because I remember I think is PlayStation still the only one with Joker? I don't remember.
And then they I think they added the DLC base, so like you could play as Catwoman. That wasn't a base part. That wasn't a big part.
Yeah, she was a part of the pre-order or whatever. Like the pre-order, or when you got the game, then you would have access to the Catwoman challenges in the Riddler's Revenge or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. So they kind of put together the DLC.
Oh shit!
And like added a bunch of shit and changed the graphics and the game. I don't think the Batman games fall into that category I'm talking. Category I'm talking about is like The Last of Us.
I was just about to say The Last of Us.
The Last of Us is the most
useless.
That's the wrong thumbnail,
bro.
The Last of Us is the most useless, unneeded fucking remake / remaster ever. I don't understand why it exists. That game did not come out long enough ago to require you to do that.
No,
Same thing with Bloodborne. Why the fuck are you doing this? There's no reason for it. Just port the goddamn game.
Honestly, I think it was money. I think that's the real reason.
That's absolutely what it was.
It's not even just the company either. There are people that literally go on like forums and shit. I just don't understand it.
So The Last of Us remaster came out this year, right?
No.
So to be fair,
yes.
It's the end of last year.
It's either the end of last year or this year. It has been 10 years since the first game came out. That is. Okay.
I don't think it's a matter of.
I think time is a big important thing. That it's an important factor to keep in mind.
Because 10 years ago, 2023, that would be 2030. I don't think it was 10 years.
Yeah,
it
well, I mean,
2013?
2013 is when the first game came. I went and looked it up while we were.
It's 2013.
Yeah, 2013 is when the first Last of Us came.
When did it come? When did it come out on PS3?
PS3. Yeah, it came out on PS.
Okay, so basically, freshman year, 8th grade freshman
PS3,
year.
PS4, PS5. Because I know it got re-released just like normally. Or I think it was one of those games that launched on PS4, PS3, both of them.
I think so.
I think it's one of those games, and I know the remaster is on PS5, and it's on Steam. I was able to get it on Steam. I don't own it.
Yeah. Also, the remake was last year.
Was it last year? Okay, so that's about 9 years. That leads to its own thing. How long do you think it be before a game gets remastered?
I don't think it
Because
ported. Because the fidelity and the way that game was not such a big step down that it was necessary to remaster all the graphics, fucking put it out. Because I think it came out again price, and then they changed the name because this was after The Last of Us 2 came.
yeah,
So it became The Last of Us Part 1. It wasn't just The Last of Us Part 1. And it's just such. And then there were rumors for a little while that they were getting ready after Part 2 came out.
right. Okay. So here's what it is. So the first game came out before the PS4 launched. So what I think it is the reason it's on PS4. It got when it got remastered, it got put on 5 and 4. It's one of those games that's ported onto both.
I want to say it was on 4.
It wasn't on 4 when it came out because the PS4 came out in December of that year. Or November, because The Last of Us came out in June. So there was at least 5 months in between the game's release and
the original was on PS4. It says.
Well, no, yeah, I'm saying I know it was on PS4. I just said that.
Oh.
What I'm saying is the PS4 was not out when the first game was released. You literally could not. It was not out on the PlayStation 4. July 19th, 2014 is when it came out on PS4 in America, at least.
The thing is, Sony's main console, as much as people would hate to hear this, still the PS4.
It's still the PS4. Although, thankfully, they are transitioning into the PS5. It's slow. It's really slow.
I don't feel like that's going to happen fast. Because I'm pretty sure their next console is supposed to be coming next year. Either next year or 2025.
I think it's going to be 25, just because the life cycle isn't long enough for the PS5. We need one more year for them to announce it, and then the cycle continues again.
Yeah, that's the problem. People are going to skip straight from 4 to 6. It's not.
Yeah.
5 is not going to happen.
I think a big part of it was didn't when 5 come out right after COVID?
I was going to say, I think it did.
Yeah, that's a big. Yeah, I think that's a big part of what the issue with the 5 was.
5 came out, I think, right before the lockdown, and then there was a big shortage because they couldn't produce
because of the scalpers and shit, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and
scalpers and all that garbage.
And after COVID ended, now there's a supply of them, but nobody's buying.
Jalen.
All the games that came out for 4 and 5 all came out for the 4. So
and they also
no
came
reason
on PC.
Yeah, and there are almost there are like 2, maybe 3 games that I can think of there completely exclusive to the PS5. There's no reason. Final Fantasy 16.
Is that 5? Wow, holy shit.
Yeah, 16 is exclusive to 5, and that's why personally that game, in my opinion, that's why that game didn't sell well. Because it was exclusive to PS5 for God.
Shit, you're right.
And yeah, it's exclusively for the PS5, and I know there are like 2 others. I think one of them is FIFA.
No, I think FIFA is on Xbox as well.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it's some sports game. I think it's Gran Turismo.
I'm not.
Forza.
Yeah. Is it Forza?
No,
I think it's Forza.
Forza is an Xbox franchise.
Yeah, so it's the other one. Yeah, so it's Gran Turismo. Because whichever one doesn't have Forza, one with that one.
I
Because
just know.
it's a weird competition thing for those two.
I just
Guys,
know they're.
it's Ridge Racer.
Okay, but don't say that because Ridge Racer is actually good.
I know.
But like I said, oh, you looked it up.
What?
No, he
hold
said
on.
it's a joke.
Oh yeah.
Look up. Oh, look up it.
Plus the PlayStation racing game.
No, I'm gonna look up exclusive.
Yeah. Speaking of Ridge Racer and racing games, you know what game would be so cool to have a remaster?
Sonic R.
Shut the fuck up. That actually
What?
has a remaster.
It does?
Paradise. Burnout Paradise is one of the sickest fucking games I've ever played in my life.
Okay.
It is
So,
like
so
a
there-
Hollywood blockbuster movie. It's so fun.
and a bunch of these don't count. I don't know why they're on.
Huh.
Probably games that are
so
available on
there are 12 major exclusives on PS5. Astro's Playroom, never heard of it. Deathloop, which I heard was very glitchy and people had problems. The Demon Souls remake, which isn't
Ew.
exclusive because it's on the PS4. Destruction All Stars, never heard of it. They're mostly fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate.
Oh boy, I love Final Fantasy VII.
I love that
definitely
game.
don't have any
So
hot takes
7
on that game.
So 7 and 16 were paid exclusive for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostwire Tokyo, which doesn't count because that was on 4. Gran Turismo 7, Horizon for
Ghostwire?
Yeah.
Ghostwire was on like everything.
yeah, that's why I'm saying it doesn't.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which has come to PC now, so it's not
PC.
exclusive either. Returnal, I think that's still exclusive.
Oh, isn't the Sly Cooper trilogy?
No,
Is that all? No, that's on PS4.
it's
Oh.
I also think it's on PC too.
It is.
No, that's not on PC. I can guarantee it.
Isn't Sly
It shouldn't be.
PlayStation exclusive?
Yeah, Sly is one of those properties that stays PlayStation only. It's like a Twisted Metal.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a small group of games.
Oh, like Alan
that
Wake.
No, Alan Wake isn't PS3 or isn't
It's
PlayStation.
Xbox.
No, Alan Wake was
Also, the
originally was
Sly
Xbox only.
Cooper trilogy / collection was a PS3 thing.
Oh
It's
my
not even
God,
PS5.
it's actually
That was
wow.
That was 2 consoles ago.
Jesus,
Unless they made a new one that includes the 4th.
maybe.
But as
No.
far as I know,
I
the
wish they
Sly
did.
Cooper collection, which was the 3 games, which was the first 3, is just it's a PS3.
Yikes. Speaking of Alan,
So that it wasn't even PS5. So there are very few exclusives for this game, and then even then, since it has come out, some of its exclusives are now on PC. Like Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and
that's
Clank is
on
on PC.
PC. Yeah.
So it's just why would you buy a PS5? There's no reason. There's no reason to buy one unless you are just that much of a fucking graphic dork. Which
Honestly,
some people are.
At that point, you might as well just have a PC because realistically, a PC can run what the PS5 can do more consistently, and you don't have a $500 console every 2
Yeah.
years.
Also, that's the problem. The PS5 is $500. It's still $500.
Yeah.
It
At
is.
almost at the end of its life cycle. I think it is. I think it's still almost.
I think it's gone down a little bit. I think we broke the 400 mark, but still, it's unneededly expensive.
Nope, still $500.
Oh my
It's
God.
$500 at Best
To
Buy.
prove the point.
It's $460 at GameStop.
Okay.
Well, like if we're talking
it's
about pricing
it's
things,
four-
right?
It's $400 if you buy it directly from PlayStation.
All right, we get it. The PS5 is expensive.
It's
Yikes.
$500 at Walmart.
Yikes.
So, Carlos, talking about racing games.
Oh, no, I was saying about pricing in games, right? Nintendo has the evil fucking practice of no matter how old the game is on the Switch, it's still $60 fucking dollars.
You say that. Do you know why I cry anytime I think about certain games on Switch?
Why?
There's Nintendo has the absolutely horrid practice of limited releases.
Oh,
Now, there's one in particular that everyone knows about, and that's the 3D Mario
99.
port.
Oh,
The port.
All
The
Stars.
G port. That's All Stars. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah, no, because I have it.
Like,
I do too. I own it as well.
They only do those
You can't
for
play
their.
Odyssey half the time either.
They
by the way.
only do those for their party. They don't
Yeah,
do
but
that
the
with
problem is that like when you do that, realistically, it's good on paper until you realize, hey, you'll realistically sell more for this title after that limited period would end.
That's true.
That's the problem with limited releases. I understand certain right? Specifically, it's over the course of a lifespan.
Is
Because the
Jalen
limited
is Jalen
releases
disagreeing?
No, I think there. I think as a
Life-
business practice, it makes more sense for the limited release because of FOMO, the fear of missing out.
I
The
wouldn't
problem
even
is
say
when you
that,
do it for certain games. So the one I remember in particular for this is Fire Emblem, when they did a re-release for the first time ever in English for Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, the very first game, 30th anniversary. They did a re-release. It was a limited release. It was only about, I think it was only a month. 1
Damn.
to 2 months. It was a very short window. Why the fuck would you even bother doing a limited release for that? That's something that you just leave it there. It's gonna rack up money over time. Because I know they don't have
The
to
Android
pay
sound.
rights. Yeah, for real. Because they don't have to pay rights for that shit to be there. It's their system, their game, their company. They don't have to pay the rights for that. The most they realistically have to do is pay for a server to run this shit.
Huh.
Even then, that's a fucking drop in the pond. Like I have personal gripes with it. From a business perspective, it does make sense usually, but for certain games like that, it makes no damn sense.
Oh, now that I think about it, I remember it was the very first Fire Emblem, right? The Shadow
The
Dragon.
very first one, yeah, Shadow Dragon, the very first one.
Oh man, I remember that. People were so pissed.
I was pissed. I bought the game, but I was very annoyed by it. I did it because I knew this is never getting a physical release. There's a collector's, like an anniversary edition for the game, where it's a physical release for people who really like the series, like me. I didn't get that because I missed the window to order it. I ran out of time because I was so fucking busy. And now I have to scour the depths of the internet to find it.
Yeah, for an
Also known
affordable
as, I
price.
just looked up. I mean, yeah, that's the problem. Is it's a very limited. But it's like, yeah, there's some things where it's just kind of is pointless to do limited releases like that. Anyway, Carlos,
Yeah.
Your turn.
About
he went
What was
first,
his turn? That was
dipshit.
his
He
turn.
talked about fire.
To be
We
fair,
completely- You completely derailed it to talk about
didn't
where
Fire Emblem.
I
He
didn't
said-
derail shit.
he said fossil fighters, and then you started talking about the issue with the remakes.
No, because it was Fossil Fighters, and then Carlos backtracked the last topic, and then we fucking went off in a completely different direction, talking about the price of the PlayStation 5 for some fucking reason.
Anyway, fossil fighter.
Fossil Fighters is absolutely goated. That is the most based opinion I've heard all night.
Isn't
Other than Zoe.
the most overpowered dinosaurs? Honestly, I thought it was like the Stegosaurus.
Pretty top tier. Honestly, the Brachiosaurus is pretty top tier. I'm not gonna lie. Pterodactyls are OP because they can fly.
That's
I mean,
true.
If we're going based off the game, two strongest dinosaurs. Brachiosaurus, T-Rex.
I didn't realize we were talking about the game for a second.
Yeah, because the Brachiosaurus, it was the ice Brachiosaurus and fire
Oh
T-Rex.
god, you're right. Wow.
That was the first game though. The second game was different.
Yeah, you kind of you know what it reminds me? It kind of reminds me of what's it called, Primal Rage.
Huh. Primal
Kind of
Rage.
reminds me
I
of.
haven't heard of that one in a while.
Yeah, that's another really old one.
You know what game really needs a remaster? Balloon Fight for the NES.
Fuck no, get the fuck out.
I love
Go-
Balloon Fight.
Go buy your
But no.
go buy your 60 games in one controller and play Balloon Fight Dog.
Wait, do that? He has a Switch. He just has to have a subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo, please sponsor us.
I
It's
do,
only
by the way.
15 It's only 50 I also have a Nintendo Switch Online sponsorship membership.
Damn. For a Switch that doesn't work?
I had it before. I had it because I really wanted to play Strider.
I don't think Nintendo does not sponsor people. They give your partner. They give you Nintendo partner.
Oh, they give us
Wait,
what's it
videos
called?
you can
Early
upload
copies, don't they?
images?
Huh?
Don't they do early copies?
It depends on how big you are. If
Yeah.
you're an actual review, a lot of the guys who get early copies are like reviewers or people who will
Or
basically
absolute Nintendo dick riders like me?
yeah.
We have a better chance of Atlas giving us a game early, or like
We have a
Nipponichi
chance-
Software. Speaking of,
cooperating with fucking HoloLive than that.
speaking of, Nipponichi Software, if you want to sponsor us, I'm gonna buy this guy a 7.
Honestly, I'm gonna buy it just for the chance of this sponsorship happening.
all your games slap Nipponichi.
Honestly, I would love to get an actual remake of like Disgaea 2.
Nintendo, I will personally suck your dick if you send me an early copy of Super Mario RPG. All of you, Doug Bowser, Masahiro Sakurai, Miyamoto.
We have to pop off. We have to become viral.
Anyway, so Jalen, out of curiosity, what do you what's the game you would want remastered?
The game I want remastered, Parasite.
Parasite, that's like Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve. Yes,
Yeah,
Parasite Eve.
you cut out for me. I wanted to be sure.
Yes, I would like a Parasite Eve remake.
Would you like the whole series or just the first game?
I think just the first, because 3 needs to be entirely. The third one needs to be entirely re.
Yeah, that one. Bad.
Like they would basically have to make another game. So yeah, just the first one, would be perfect. Like just because I feel like that story has something that quite a few games are missing. Even like the genre Resident Evil, I feel like it's missing something. And I think it's people. Because Parasite Eve has a lot more people in it than your average Resident Evil game. You have like talk to all the police officers. You talk to
it's more like the world. You can feel like the world is very lived in.
Yeah, it feels like there are still people, even though like there are these crises.
I getcha.
It feels like you're still like a person in the world, despite you being protagonist. It's not just you.
It kind of has that. How do I fucking put it? I want to say like sort of like a Dead Rising 2-ish feel. Like you can feel that there were people there. There are people in the world.
Yeah, it's not even were. It's like there are. Like everywhere you go, more or less, people. Even if they're like dying in front of you, it's still like, oh hey,
is that Steve? Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, hey, there is / was a person right there that has nothing to do with what you're living.
We're about to watch Ted from accounting die again.
Yeah, it's just. Nice. I feel like it's just got that thing that's missing from the current survival kind of combat horror genre. It just, the world feels more alive. It doesn't feel like like you're just like that's the problem I find in a lot of the rest games. It feels like just, with the exception of like maybe like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 people, just like everyone
everyone's fucking dead or infected or some bullshit.
Everyone's dead. Everyone's infected.
That's
kill you.
That's the one thing I give to, what is it, Village? Like it feels like people actually live there.
Yeah, but
also the problem, but
yeah, it still falls in a category of everyone wants to kill you. Which I feel like even if you fell into a village that had like cult shit going, I feel like not everyone going to be some maniac in the street trying to stab you. it just doesn't filter out. So it's I like that about Paris. Even with the monsters, still just like, oh, there are these homeless people. They have nowhere else to go. They couldn't escape. They off cars. Oh, there are all these cops. They're trying to help sell the situation. Oh, you have these scientists. They're working on trying to solve the problem.
You know, this is a great transition to what I or remastered. Yeah. That's
Hold on,
speaking
real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like a series that can do that very well is actually Zelda.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah, because
You're
like,
actually right.
what's the name of that game?
But I think
Breath of the Wild did
I feel like
livable
I feel like
villages
Zelda's
pretty realistically.
I feel like Zelda. I don't think Zelda's had that problem.
Fuck.
There's always been. I think except
Zelda's
for like
always felt really lived in.
yeah.
You
I
think
think
so?
Zelda would be one of those games where it never needs to be remade because the newer games, realistically, some people have their gripes of a few things about them. Like, I don't know, I'm not big into some of the designs in Breath of the Wild. That's just a me thing.
I feel that.
That's all preference at that point.
I feel like if we're talking Zelda, maybe the worst game that did that was
Zelda 2.
no,
Oracle of Ages.
no.
Suck my
Skyward
dick.
Sword.
Skyward Sword did that pretty bad. Yeah.
I feel like Skyward Sword did the worst at making the world feel like it had people in it, but
Yeah.
also it didn't. The issue is that usually when you go to an area and you meet quote unquote people of that area, they tend to like start out either against you or like
It's the
or like it's such a small population that's like no one there. Like with the beginning forest area, they're
it's
all
the
friendly.
Castle of
Forest
Swords
Haven?
2 of the Zelda series.
No, I'm talking
Yikes.
about so forest area, starting you have like the Korok, and you're like helping, but of course there are so few of them. Like they're barely. The way the game kind of deals with it though is that you can all Sky, and like Skyloft is like heavily popular. There's almost nowhere you can fly in Skyloft where you can't fly. They're just everywhere. Even on like the outer island, find old hermit or some shit. Just so they kind of solve their own problem of the world not being super lived in, with you being able to kind of whenever you want go up to Skyloft and kind of chill out and like do like side quests there and shop there and talk to people there because they have different dialogue as the rest of the story. They have different things to talk about. They want you. What game did you want to talk about? Alex?
Right. So speaking of like a world's feeling, I think it's kind of funny that
This
we're
will be
kind
our
of
last one.
yeah, we are coming up on. Speaking of games that feel really lived, Prototype, or really either Infamous or Prototype. I'm gonna focus on Prototype because I think it is in more desperate need of a remaster at the minimum.
I don't.
Context. Earlier today or last few days, I have been struggling to get the original Prototype to even run on modern hardware because the game is from 2009. It's getting up there. We're almost to 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're 14 years right now. We're getting close to 20. So the game can barely run on modern hardware. You have to jump through a lot of hurdles to get it to work. When it works, godlike, incredible. When you are sitting here about to punch a hole through your monitor, it's the worst experience ever.
I'm
But-
going to say something. Not sure how you're gonna feel about it. I
listen.
don't think Prototype needs a remake or a remaster. I think Prototype
needs a
needs a
port.
no, not even a port. I think Prototype needs a.
No, here's the thing, right?
A
I don't
reboot?
think
It needs
think-
it needs better. It needs better writers.
no, the problem.
B, a budget so it can do more story and like cutscenes and tell the story that it wants to tell. Because it kind of told the story, but it was very choppy and like not very well connected. Like
I think,
if you compare it to
are we
something
talking
like
about Prototype 1 or 2? Because I know
One.
2 has this bad. I don't know. The problem with
One-
Prototype 1,
one has the
right?
similar issue.
1 is like more cohesive. The issue with 1 is it feels like the game wasn't finished.
Yeah,
Right?
I feel like it needs a.
I think if
That game needed a bigger budget, a better writing team,
and better hardware is really what it
and,
needed.
and better hardware.
Game at even like the remaster or the Biohazard bundle, whatever, the remaster or like the ports for those games still consistently run 30 FPS, which is terrifying to think about. The only reason I say like at minimum a remaster is because the gameplay for these games is still really good. Like it's actually held up way better than certain games that have come out after. Like it's incredible. And the fact that it's a fairly close to okay, not bad rendition of New York, because you can see like actual landmarks, like the Empire State Building is in, or at least a stand-in for it, like an actual stand-in for the Empire State Building. You can go to Times Square. You literally start the game in Times Square. It's an incredible. The game itself plays really well. For what little I played it today, and the only thing I have, it feels a little clunky because it's a bit old. It's not made for like modern hardware acceptable. But it feels fluid. Movement in like traversing the map, I'm gonna say it's probably the most fun I've had traversing a map since I first played Arkham City.
Arkham City is pretty good.
The issue with Proto is when you look at it and you look at the other game, which was Infamous.
I don't know.
Infamous as a game is a lot more coherently told than any of the prototype.
Mind you,
I'd argue Infamous 1 is more coherently told than the actual written media fucking prototype. I'll
argue that any day of the week. Infamous 1 is, I'll say it, it's kind of bad.
Infamous?
As much as I like Infamous 1, it's not really, it hasn't aged super well. Infamous 2, on the other hand, out of everything for this group, is by far the best, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Second Son is okay. Gameplay is fun. Story's whack as fuck. Prototype 2, whack story, godlike gameplay. Prototype 1, great gameplay. That's kind of held back by the time it came out. The story is actually really good, but they don't present it well. Is the biggest problem.
The games feel incomplete. That's why my argument is it like, just needs a
remake, like a full remake.
I wouldn't say a remake. I would say.
Well, no, I say remake because speaking
of remake reboot bullshit. Final Fantasy VII quote unquote remake is not a fucking remake. It's a reboot. That shit has an entirely different fucking story
and battle mechanic.
Some of the characters.
It's a different game. That's the point.
They have changed some of the characters' relationships. It's not a fucking remake of the original. It's a reboot.
It's not a reboot.
It's not a remake.
Look, no, it's definitely a remake, but you can't call it a reboot. You know what's a fucking reboot? The like
nuts and bolts.
So this is gonna
Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts.
Incredibly, yes.
In my opinion,
it's meant to bring a series back, right?
The reason
is FF7 is definitively a remake. It does what Resident Evil did in 2004 with Resident Evil Remake. If you're saying that game is a fucking reboot, you're insane. Because that game is
so different. It's insanely different.
That's the point. That's why it's a remake and not a reboot. A reboot, by its own definition, would realistically not be able to be a remake or a remaster. A reboot is made for games, or really series in general, that are dormant and don't have any media really releasing for them.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII.
That's not true. The fucking DC universe reboots every 5 seconds.
That's true.
The difference is That's different. It's also because they keep getting new fucking writers, but that's completely different nuts and bolts there. But for example, like, what the fuck do you mean FF7? That's not a series. That is a game.
Yeah, but well, it's an independent franchise at this point.
Final Fantasy games are independent from each other.
Yeah, but that's because that's not the final. That's not a different game. You're not gonna sit here and fucking tell me Final Fantasy 1 is its own series. It's one game. There is no spin-off to that game.
Yeah, okay, well, here's the thing. Oh, hold on.
Final Fantasy as a series is only a series in the fact that they all share titles and kind of similar themes. Arguably, you could not call them Final Fantasy and it would be fine. Because the games have nothing to do with each other, except maybe like 2 or 3 of them. And that's because they are quote-unquote direct sequels to each other, and that's no, I'm not talking about the ones that are actually sequels. I'm talking about like Tactics and fucking 12, which are
like Tactics technically is a spin-off that has its own sub-series in Final Fantasy.
Like, oh god, there's another 2 that are sequels.
Well, hang on, because like Final Fantasy VII is definitely its own series because look at Kingdom Hearts.
Difference is
look at Kingdom Hearts.
Except more than just FF7 characters are in Kingdom Hearts though. There are characters from 9, 10, 6, 8.
Okay, Carlos made the mistake of saying Kingdom Hearts, but how about this? Crisis Core, Urge of Cerberus, Advent Children.
Advent Children, definitely.
My thing is that I don't think 7 itself is a series, but it definitely has spin-offs. It's sort of like saying Persona 4 is a fucking series of all its spin-offs that all have...
It basically is at this point.
But
it's not, though. Those are spin-offs.
But what are we doing with the word spin-off? Because the way seven spin-offs function... The way 7 spin-offs function is not like how other spin-offs function. 7 spin-offs either A, continue the story, which Advent Children did, or prequels, which is what Crisis Core was, or our side story, which is what Dirge of Cerberus was. It's not like it's a spin-off to where like Pokemon has spin-off, which have nothing to do with the like normal gameplay of Pokemon.
Like Mystery Dungeon.
The point of the other 7 games are to tell stories that don't involve Cloud in the Final Fantasy VII world.
But that's the problem, right? Is that when you really look at it, it's still, they're just spin-offs at the end of the day. It's not its own series. They're telling different stories with the same character. It's not like the point Carlos made. Yeah, it's Persona 4 is basically its own series.
It is.
Honestly, that is more accurate. You know why? Because it's still the same characters, but realistically...
Oh, hold the fuck on, because Dancing All Night, what's it called, Ultimax and everything like that, they had their own story.
Those are also all one continuous story. That's the one thing Persona 4, I think, does really well. Every single one of its spin-offs bleeds into the main timeline of Persona 4.
So
that's like
7.
Not really,
like,
because you yourself said these are taking these characters in different worlds outside of the FF7 world.
No, it's not. That's not what I said.
Kingdom Hearts is.
That was Carlos when he said fucking Kingdom Hearts. I said that they directly flow.
I did nothing wrong.
Of the world of Final Fantasy VII. You said that. You know what that is?
So they are all together. It is one continuous story. Fucking Crisis Core is a prequel to the main game. Dirge of Cerberus is a side story, and Advent Children is a sequel. It is all one story linked together at one time, but they are not officially sequels because they don't have 0.5 or 2 or whatever in the title. But Crisis Core is a prequel. It is your Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 to your 4, 5, and 6. It is your 1, 2, and 3 to your 4, 5, and 6.
FF7 Remake a reboot?
Yes. Okay,
That's
look.
bullshit. How is it?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
no,
Check this out. Check this
How
out.
is it a reboot? No, I want to understand. What makes it a reboot?
Check this out.
Because it,
Story
because
changes.
it has first it has taken the original story, and it has almost entirely at this point rewritten it.
Yes.
Completely. The lore is different. Fucking Zach is alive for one.
For real.
He's actually alive, Loki.
Yes.
Damn, bro.
Why do you fucking think I'm calling this a reboot? I'm not just calling this because I want to be cute about definitions. No,
I do not think it's a reboot, but
they have entirely fucked the original 7 story. It's gone. It's entirely different now. Zach is alive. Fucking the team has been split in half. You have these other fucking characters doing shit that weren't even in the original.
Yeah, like the side characters from the very beginning during the bombing mission.
They're actually fucking doing shit with the character. It sounds like the thing with the remake, because mind you, I haven't played it. I haven't.
This motherfucker said, "Oh, okay, so you're not qualified to fucking talk." You fucking asshole.
Oh my God.
Because you decided to start fucking around when I'm over here trying to back up your fucking what you want for a remake. But fuck off, okay? Nah. But the thing, what it sounds like is they're using all the stuff that has been expanded upon the spinoffs, right? So
Yeah, kind of.
Characters like Zach, characters like I almost said like Cloud, even though he's the fucking protagonist. That's how you know I'm off my gourd.
I mean, but Zach existed in the original.
Yeah,
he just wasn't. He
was
just
a
wasn't
flashback character. He was literally a character in a flashback.
Yeah.
But it's like they wouldn't consider it a reboot, but that's only because we've gotten Final Fantasy stuff for forever. It's a remake of only the 7th game. It doesn't reset the entire FF7 series. Because there is stuff from like fucking what's it called, Crisis Core, that's still there. Like Crisis Core kind of still happens, but you know what I mean? Like it's kind of fucking hard to put into.
Look, another big difference is the way they basically completely reworked the battle mechanics.
Like Resident Evil Remake, a reboot. Because that shit definitely didn't reboot Resident Evil. RE4, I think, came out later, like the next year.
Resident Evil is a more consistent franchise timeline-wise. Like, we know...
questionable.
In terms of Resident Evil, relatively all these characters live in the same world.
I'll give you that one.
In Final Fantasy, as far as we know, outside of, like, Dissidia and like mobile games, none of these characters live in the same.
Yeah, the biggest problem with Final Fantasy as a series, it's like it's an anthology series. Really.
Yeah, it's an anthology.
It's an anthology.
Like Xenoblade.
Xenoblade actually has direct sequels to certain games.
No, Xenoblade is one thing now. X is the only one that's done. They have linked 1, 2, and 3. It's one world.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, three kind of covers it, but yeah, at the end of 2, the world of 1 and the world of 2 get smashed together because the final boss of Xenoblade 2 is technically half of the final boss
of Zanza.
Yeah.
Oh.
So after they're defeated, the worlds kind of smash together, and that's the world you play in Blade. It is a smashed together combination of the world of Xenoblade 1 and 2. And if you play Xenoblade 3, you'll see and
Chad Rex.
No, it's not. Yeah, Chad Rex is in it.
Chad Rex is in 3. That's the only thing I remember.
But the queens of the respective nations are an older Nia and older what's Bird Blade 1.
I'm not sure.
Her name is not.
It's not Melia, right?
I only played the very first game for this series. I didn't care after that.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's the bird lady from 1.
Bird lady. No, not Melia.
I'm just here.
I don't remember her name, but yeah, they're the queens of Blade, and they are the same character. Like Rex shows up and fucking shows up.
So yeah, Prototype needs a fucking remaster at the bare damn minimum.
At the bare minimum.
New hardware. That's the big. This is the problem with Prototype. You were bringing it up earlier. The way its plot is told is not very cohesive because of what the fuck is the mechanical the web of intrigue or whatever it's called. I think that is the big problem with Prototype, because mind you, doing the actual story itself is actually really cohesive on its own. It's actually really good. I think if in terms of like the quality of the story, if we're talking about Prototypes 1, 2, Infamous 1, 2, not Second Son, obviously, because that game is 7 years after the second. It is completely separated other than the world it's in. I actually think Prototype 1 has the best story of the group. Just because, and that's another thing, thinking about it, there aren't any games like Prototype anymore, where you are the villain.
That was, the games like Infamous and Prototype were very much like those like mid-2000s kind of
2009, baby.
It was like a B, and I'd also include, I know people are gonna hate this, I'd include DMC Devil May Cry into this group of very mid-2000s type game where the character is very...
Devil May Cry came out in 2012.
I know, but...
big difference.
I know, but... It's like the 2010s, late 2000s, kind of...
A big part of it is because we're able to look back on it. Like, Infamous definitely aged way better than Prototype. That's also because Mercer, as a character design, first of all, iconic as fuck. It actually, his design has aged really well. But when you look at it, yeah, he looks like an edgy 2009 protagonist.
I won't lie. Just because I've played so much Assassin's Creed, if I didn't see like Mercer's back in an image, I would think he was just an Assassin's Creed character.
I would say that if it wasn't for the fact that Mercer actually, well, normally what it is Mercer's identified with two things: the jean, or like the jacket and the hood, because he has, I'm trying to remember, it's a button-up shirt, a vest, like a sweater vest under. And
yeah, and then
the button-up shirt, by the way, collar popped, gotta remember it. And then he's got the weird leather jacket hoodie that, by the way, that's actually a part of his fucking...
Yeah, it's part of his flesh.
Colors. It's super cool.
And it's got the red inner lining.
Like the inner lining. And then he has the insignia on his back, which is really, like the black light insignia.
Yeah,
but also, the thing I don't think, it's really hard to find Mercer.
Without his arms.
Without the arm blade. Yes, the arm. So Mercer, I think the best part about I think Prototype as a series, there's two things that are really the gameplay is one of them, because holy fuck. I think I talked about it earlier. It's probably the most fun I've ever had. Yeah, that would definitely be our boy Alex Mercer.
Yeah,
he definitely doesn't look like an Assassin's Creed character. He looks too modern. Because the thing is, no.
How many Assassin's Creed games have you played? Just to ask.
Out of 9 of them out of like 20.
He looks like when they were still trying to actually tell the story with the modern protagonist.
He doesn't look like what's his name, Desmond. He definitely doesn't look like that. Desmond has a very unique design to him. That's the one thing I'll give him. His design is very hard to mistake, because he looks
like Desmond if Desmond was actually cool.
He looks like Desmond if Desmond had any drip. If Desmond actually had a personality.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? It's just
if you're looking at it with your eyes squinted through a reflective sheet of glass.
It's the hoodie covering up face. It's the hoodie covering up face, wide stance, long sleeve combo.
The problem is you can say that fucking featuring Dante for the Devil May Cry series. But you can
Dante doesn't wear a fucking hoodie.
No, it's on the stream. No, but the thing is, you can say that about really any character who stances up like that in a similar outfit with hoodie. You know what I mean? Like, it's very the design is.
But how many of those are there? Let's be clear. How many of game wise, like popular games? How many?
Realistically, I couldn't tell you, but that's also because I've been out of the loop for like 10 years.
I someone in the loop? Not me.
Triple A. Because like anymore.
Because usually if they have the hood on, it gets taken at some point. It almost never comes back on.
But that's why I'm like,
with the exception,
100% see him with the hood off. That's why I'm so fucking confused.
With the exception of Assassin's Creed. Well, most of my experience with Alex Mercer is 9 prototype.
Oh yeah, because you played mostly 2. Yeah, that's the thing that I think that also kind of informs your opinion about the story as well. Because 2's story is really messy.
No, I played 1. I've just played 2 more.
No, what I mean is like you're remembering more about 2 than say 1, right? Because you're realistically less familiar with 1. Like I'm less familiar with 2, right?
So like to me in 2, he almost never takes that hood. He's wearing it the whole fucking game.
Take it off. That's all. Like he never takes it off. But he also, I think the bigger issue with 2, like 2 specifically, is that Mercer, his story is told in a comic that I don't think was ever advertised.
Nope.
It is a comic that ties Prototype 1 and 2 together during that year in between the games. Here's the problem with that.
We're not going. We're not going over the lore of Prototype, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to go over the lore of Prototype. There's not too much. It's literally 2 fucking games. Unless you really want to start talking about the fucking Crusades for no reason. Then that's Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear lore is like that, where they'll go back to like 1519 and thunder strikes a building somewhere, or like lightning strikes a building and it's important 500 years later.
500 years later, it
was in the basement.
500 years later, it relates to Axel.
Yo, for real. No, yeah. I think the thing with Mercer is a really interesting character in hindsight, right? If you discount Prototype 2, this Prototype 2 is character assassination at its finest. Oh my god. Mercer has been fucking ruined in that game if you didn't read the comic. Even then, still pretty bad. He became like a Saturday morning cartoon villain.
You know, I always felt like it was less that Prototype 2 was assassin character and more that Prototype 2 is being told from the perspective of a very angry black person who Mercer indirectly murdered the wife and kids. So I feel like the reason why Mercer comes off as such a Saturday morning cartoon villain is because the story is being told from the perspective of a very angry person who doesn't give a fuck about Mercer's backstory.
Character in reality. Because, like, the problem is Mercer's character gets ruined in that game. The writing for Mercer in that game is questionable at best. And it's like, okay, well, where the fuck did this social Darwinism shit come from? The first game, Mercer is honestly a relatively interesting character. And the reveal at the near the end of the game, where, yeah, that's right, you, the player,
the villain.
Fucked up. You're the villain. You're the one who caused every single fucking problem you've had to deal with. That is incredible.
I don't like that. I don't like meta narratives. You just kind of... You just kind of reminded me why I don't really like Prototype 1.
No, I think the thing... Well, the way they present it. It's presented much better in the first game. Because we actually get to uncover this ourselves. Like, yeah, we're figuring out each step of this over time. And that's part of what the Web of Intrigue is figuring out all the little holes that would show up in the story. But realistically...
we said we weren't gonna go over the lore, and here we are talking about the fucking story of Prototype 1.
Because it's kind of important for, it's kind of more important for why I think 1 specifically needs a remaster over 2, because a game like Prototype 1 doesn't exist anymore. You can find games like Infamous still, for example, like fucking Marvel Spider-Man or whatever. The only thing that doesn't have... I
don't think Marvel Spider-Man...
No, what I mean
I don't think so either.
Like, the way they play more so kind of feels more similar, but like a game like Prototype in the way its story is told and the way the game plays, the closest comparison gameplay-wise to Prototype is like fucking Darksiders, a game that has been out of the fucking zeitgeist for fucking over a decade.
I don't agree with that either. First of all, Darksiders 3 came out in like 2020, bro. Second of all,
3. I'm talking about Darksiders 2. I don't give a shit about that game.
second of all, no. The story of Darksiders not told anything like
not the story. I'm not talking about the story. I was talking more closer to the way the games feel, is what I mean. They are not the. How do I fucking put it?
As someone who's played the shit out of Darksiders 2, Death is my favorite horse.
Anyway, no, it's more like how they feel, how they kind of feel in the way they are. They're very, despite all the weird shit going on in both games, they have a very similar feel. They're very, like, kind of gritty, they're not for the faint of heart.
In my opinion, the way you have so far described one, and from what I remember of it, it sounds like it was a game that couldn't actually tell its story. Because when your game, if it's not like a detective game, and it's resorting to like a web of information for the player to discover, and it just sounds like the people who made the game didn't have enough budget to actually tell the story of it.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Is the game is just straight up unfinished.
They pulled in Evangelion.
No, the difference is Evangelion literally ran out of budget. They had the color the last episode of fucking Crayola markers. It's true, by the way. That is real factoid.
Also, they got to finish it. They got to finish it 3 separate times.
Yeah, I wish Prototype got the chance to finish it one time in a way that wasn't Prototype 2. Because Prototype 2, despite the gameplay being great, is not a good game. The story in that game is fucking terrible. Straight up.
Alright. We're on time. I have to get up in the morning.
You have to get up in like 3 hours.
So, anyway, remakes or ports? Which would you prefer? Or remasters,
Fucking either.
I'd rather do.
Which would you prefer, jackass?
Wait, is ports is an option?
No, I said port because that was an accident. Because port is literally the same game. Would you prefer a game is just remastered, so it's the same game, but it's been brought up to modern spec standards? Or would you prefer a game completely remade?
Like P3 Reload.
Reload. Well, no, I'd say
it's getting completely remade. It's using a different engine.
Like RE2 is what I mean. Because P3 Reload has like the base bones from the original P3. That's what I mean. Because P3 is the game that started that whole system. It's the remake is more bringing it up to the modern standard of Persona 5.
Remaster.
I'm kind of in that group. I think I would prefer remasters usually, but that's also, I think it depends on what they do with a remake, right? Because if so, sort of like P3 or FF7, right, where they're doing a lot of things completely differently, they're basically building it from the ground up. I think those are good for remakes, but something like The Last of Us, if it was a remake and not a remaster, absolutely would make me rip my damn hair out.
All right.
All right.
Sign off. Thanks for coming to the stream. Shouts to the VOD people if you're watching the VOD. Like and subscribe. We're gonna try and do these every week. We almost didn't do it today.
It has been an interesting attempt to record one recording.
We're always trying to get more competent recording these and doing our audio and making better videos. You guys to watch or listen to, I guess, since this is more of a podcast form. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. We're gonna try to have highlights of the first episode soon. So
soon.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
I guess it's core of like a cut, I guess, or a director's cut is the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and President Obama doesn't care about black people. Okay,
I like that. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go.
Add that to the counter.